Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you today? Hari ini kita akan belajar tentang 5 exercises of recount text in English, part 5. Okay, let's read the text first, and then after that we have 5 questions to be answered based on the text. Battle of Surabaya. On 10 November, Indonesia celebrates Hari Pahlawan or Heroes Day in remembrance of the Battle of Surabaya, which started on that very date in the year 1945. The bloody battle took place because Indonesia refused to surrender their weaponry to British Army. British Army at the time was part of the Light Forces. Latihan Bung Tomo is the well-known revolutionary leader who played a very important role in this battle. It all started because of a misunderstanding between British troops in Jakarta and those in Surabaya under the command of Brigadier A.W.W.S. Malaby. Brigadier Malaby already had an agreement with the governor of East Java, Mr. Surya. The agreement stated that British would not ask Indonesian troops and military to surrender their weapons. However, a British plane from Jakarta dropped leaflets all over Surabaya. The leaflet told Indonesians to do otherwise on 27 October 1945. This action angered the Indonesian troops and military leaders because they felt betrayed. On 30 October 1945, Brigadier Malaby was killed as he was approaching the British troops post near Jembatan Merah or Red Bridge, Surabaya. There were many reports about the death, but it was widely believed that the brigadier was murdered by Indonesian military. Looking at the situation, Lieutenant General Sir Philip Christensen brought in reinforcements to seize the city. In the early morning of 10 November 1945, British troops began to advance into Surabaya with cover from both naval and air bombardment. Although the Indonesians defended the city heroically, the city was conquered within 3 days and the whole battle lasted for 3 weeks. In total, between 6,000 and 16,000 Indonesians died, while casualties on the British side were about 600 to 2,000. Battle of Surabaya caused Indonesia to lose weaponry, which hampered the country's independence struggle. However, the battle provoked Indonesian and international mass to rally for the country's independence, which made this battle especially important for the Indonesian national revolution. Question number 1. Why did the bloody battle take place? A. Because Indonesia agreed to surrender their weaponry to British Army. B. Because Indonesia refused to surrender their weaponry to British Army. C. Because British Army refused to surrender their weaponry to Indonesia. D. Because British Army attacked Indonesians. 10 seconds from now to answer the question. The answer is B. Because Indonesia refused to surrender their weaponry to British Army. We can find the answer here. The bloody battle took place because Indonesia refused to surrender their weaponry to British Army. Question number 2. What did the agreement between Malaby and the governor of East Java, Mr. Surya, state? A. British would ask Indonesian troops and military to surrender their weapons. B. Indonesians would not ask British Army to surrender their weapons. C. British would not ask Indonesian troops and military to surrender their weapons. D. Indonesians would ask British Army to surrender their weapons. 10 seconds from now to answer the question. The answer is C. British would not ask nation troops and militia to surrender their weapons. We can find the answer here. The agreement stated that British would not ask nation troops and militia to surrender their weapons. Question number 3. What happened on 30 October 1945? A. British troops began to advance into Surabaya. B. British plane from Jakarta dropped leaflets all over Surabaya. C. Brigadier Malabi was killed. D. Surabaya was conquered by British Army. 10 seconds from now to answer the question. The answer is C. Brigadier Malabi was killed. We can find the answer here. On 30 October 1945, Brigadier Malabi was killed as he was approaching the British troops. Question number 4. How long was Surabaya conquered by British troops? A. 3 days. B. 3 weeks. C. 3 hours. D. 3 months. 10 seconds from now to answer the question. The answer is A. 3 days. We can find the answer here. The city was conquered within 3 days. The last question. How many people died in the battle from British side? A. 16 to 2,000 people. B. Between 16,000 and 60,000 people. C. Between 6,000 and 16,000 people. D. 600 to 2,000 people. 10 seconds from now to answer the question. The answer is D. 600 to 2,000 people. We can find the answer here. On the British side were about 600 to 2,000. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.